Every week, we introduce you to boss ladies of CLE featured in Maggie Sullivan's book. Well, here's Maggie with this week's inspiring author.
From advocating for better news coverage for communities of color to planting little free libraries across Cleveland, Margaret Bernstein, a boss lady journalist, is telling a different story.
Such a pleasure to see your face. It's been too long.
It really is.
Margaret Bernstein is many things: a mom, a journalist, an author, an advocate, a literacy activist, a featured boss lady. She's also the director of advocacy and community initiatives at WKYC Studios.
Everybody that knows you, Margaret, knows how much you care about literacy for us and for Cleveland. Why is that?
I just want every kid to grow up understanding that reading is the key to success.
Margaret has loved books since she was little, the daughter of two devoted parents, her mom a teacher.
I actually keep this right here on my lampshade, and this is my mom's work ID, Los Angeles University District. My mom was an incredible achiever, held back by the barriers that affected African-American women. She achieved as far as she could, given those barriers. I get to go so much farther, and that's a beautiful thing, and I do it all as a tribute to her.
While Margaret was writing for the Cleveland Plain Dealer, she found another love: little free libraries.
Little free libraries, to me, are just an opportunity for every street, every block to get involved in promoting literacy, and they're so enchanting for little kids. The very first one that I saw was across from a Cleveland public school, and I'd never seen one before, so I didn't know what it was, but all I knew was that all the kids were getting out of school and going over to it. And I'll be darned if they weren't pulling out books.
She started planting them everywhere she could, outside school, in so-called book deserts far from local libraries. Then she started writing children's books to fill them.
I just heard this little voice telling me, write a book that a child would love for their dad to read with them, and that the child would actually beg for the dad to read with them. All in a Dad's Day is my first book, and this is it. I use every inch of available space in this book to either tell the story or explain to dads why it's so important.
Her 3 books now encourage reading in the home, creating change at the ground level.
If you can create an identity in a neighborhood and a desire to use assets to fix its problems, then we'll get somewhere. Then let them work with these partners. It ties back to what we were saying about philanthropy.
That's another of Margaret's passions, working with community stakeholders. She joined the board of the Gun Foundation last year.
In light of everything that happened with the social justice protests, death of George Floyd over the summer, I saw the Gun Foundation really take a leading role in just recognizing that institutional racism has had its place in the nonprofit sector too, and trying to weed it out very deliberately.
There's a quote you have in here: as a journalist, you have to do more than write about people. You have to look at where the failings were and see if you can help solve them.
I think we all need to ask, what is our talent? What can we use to better our community? And then we need to use it.
And she sure does. If you want to encourage reading with a little free library, you have to talk to Margaret. You can find more information on her and the other ladies in Maggie's book at WKYC.com/frontrow.